let's play Would You Rather. Today we're putting Alpharetta and Milton head to head across 8 categories. You know the drill: population density, downtowns, location, home prices, healthcare, schools, safety, and things to do. We'll award points along the way. We're gonna tally them up and declare a winner at the end. Let's get into it. Alpharetta and Milton might be right next to each other, but the way they feel when you drive through them could not be more different. Alpharetta has a population of about 67,000 spread across roughly 27 square miles. That's gonna work out to just under 2,500 people per square mile, which is on the higher side for North Fulton suburb. And it feels that way. You've got busy commercial corridors, corporate office parks, multiple shopping districts, and neighborhoods that are just gonna be a lot closer together. There's always some activity going on, especially near Avalon and downtown Alpharetta. Milton, on the other hand, has a population of about 43,000 spread over 38 square miles. It's only about 1,200, a little bit less, people per square mile, less than half. It's one of the least densely populated suburbs in Metro Atlanta, on purpose, I might add. When you're in Milton, it feels just wide open. You're gonna see horse farms, rolling pastures, estate homes on multi-acre lots, and very, very few commercial areas. So while Alpharetta has more of that suburban, urban energy, Milton gives you the peace and quiet of the countryside without being far from the conveniences of the city. If you want space and privacy, Milton is gonna be the clear winner here, but if you like a little bit more energy and have amenities that are just minutes from your door, then Alpharetta's density is gonna work in your favor. Point for Milton. This one's an interesting comparison because technically Milton doesn't really have a downtown in a traditional sense, at least not in the way that Alpharetta does, certainly. And that's, again, very much by design. Alpharetta's downtown is one of the best in Metro Atlanta. Over the last 15 years, it's gone through a massive transformation into a really walkable, full of life destination. The restored brick buildings are home to boutique shops, chef-driven restaurants, coffee spots, rooftop bars. Places like South Main Kitchen, Citizen Soul, Restaurant Homes have turned downtown into a real legitimate dining destination. And on the weekends, it's really lively. There's farmers markets, live music, art festivals, you name it. And then just minutes away, you've got Avalon, which feels like downtown's much more stylish cousin. Upscale shops, luxury movie theater, green space for events, and an endless list of restaurants. Between downtown and Avalon, you could spend an entire day without ever having to get, in your car, really. Milton, on the other hand, takes a very different approach. Instead of, a vast urban core, its version of a downtown is Crabapple Market, which is a really pretty designed mixed-use district that's got again, boutique shops, local restaurants, professional offices with more of a small town feel. It's where you're gonna find weekend events, outdoor concerts, and maybe some seasonal markets. It's charming, it's upscale. It fits perfectly with Milton's, rural elegance personality vibe. It really comes down to what you want in your daily life. If you like being able to park once and spend the whole afternoon out shopping, dining, exploring, doing the things, Alpharetta definitely has the advantage here. But if your idea of downtown is just quieter, maybe more intimate setting surrounded by, horse country, Milton's Crabapple Market is gonna be just that. But at the end of the day, it's a point for Alpharetta. Alpha and Milton may be neighbors, but when it comes to location and day-to-day convenience, they play very different games. Alpharetta sits right on Georgia 400, which is the main north-south artery on the west side of Metro Atlanta. That means you've got quick access to places like Roswell, Sandy Springs, and Buckhead. If you work in Midtown or downtown Atlanta, you're looking at around 30 to 45 minute drive outside of rush hour. And yes, that will definitely be longer when traffic is at its worst. But for jobs in North Fulton, Perimeter Center, or even parts of Gwinnett, Alpharetta's location makes it one of the most most commuter-friendly suburbs in the metro for sure. Milton, on the other hand, is tucked away just west of Georgia 400. You're still close to Alpharetta's shopping, restaurants, the job centers, but you don't have that same instant access to the highway. If you live in Milton, the daily routine involves driving through Alpharetta to get anywhere south, which is fine if you work from home or locally, but can add up to your commute if you're heading into the city every single day. Another factor is proximity to the Atlanta airport. From Alpharetta, you're looking at 45 minutes, maybe an hour without traffic. For Milton, it's closer to an hour, hour 15, depending on exactly where you live. That extra 15 to 30 minutes might not sound like a lot, but if you travel often for work or you just love to take those vacations, it can add up pretty fast. If you're all about convenience, quicker access to Georgia 400, shorter drive times to the rest of the metro area, Alpharetta is gonna get the nod here. Milton trades a little bit of that convenience for space, privacy, slower pace, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be point for Alpharetta. If you're thinking about moving to Alpharetta, Milton, anywhere in North Fulton, really anywhere in Metro Atlanta, I'm here to help you figure out exactly where you're gonna feel most at home. My contact information is down in the description, or you're gonna see it right here at the bottom of the screen. Call, text, or email anytime. I'm always happy just to chat about your options and help you get started. Let's talk about home prices, because for most people, this is one of the biggest deciding factors. As of fall 2025, the median home price in Alpharetta is sitting just under $700,000. That covers a wide range from townhomes and single-family starter homes to the luxury properties well over $2 million, especially in places like Windward or some of the gated golf communities around here. You'll also see a fair amount of newer construction here, but not a ton of large lot estate properties within the city limits. Milton, on the other hand, comes in much higher. Median home price here is just under 1.3 million, median home price. And there's a reason for that. Milton is all about large homes on big lots. We're talking 1 acre, 2 acres, sometimes 10 acres. These are often custom built properties, high-end finishes, pools, sometimes even additional buildings. If you're looking for a home with land, then Milton is your spot, but that space and privacy are going to come at a premium. One of the things to keep in mind is supply. In Alpharetta, you're gonna find a lot more inventory, especially if you're open to, smaller lots and townhomes. Somewhere between 400 and 600 homes available at any given time. Milton has far fewer homes on the market because, demand for large lot estates is so strong, prices tend to stay high even when the broader market cools around here. Really comes down to lifestyle. If you want variety, more options and different price points and still plenty of upscale neighborhoods, then Alpharetta is gonna win for flexibility. But if you want big lot, high end, all of the things, then Milton is gonna have it for you. Just be ready to pay for it though. Point for Alpharetta here. When it comes to healthcare access, Alpharetta has a clear advantage simply because of the location and proximity that we talked about earlier. Alpharetta is home to Northside Alpharetta Medical Campus and multiple urgent care centers, kind of scattered throughout the city. You're also just minutes from Northside Hospital Forsyth over in Cumming and Northside Hospital Cherokee over in Canton. And for major medical needs, Northside Hospital Atlanta, one of the largest and most respected hospitals in Georgia really, is only about 20-25 minutes south of there. You've also got quick access to Emory St. John's Hospital and Wellstar North Fulton Medical Center in Roswell. Bottom line, you've got tons of options. Milton doesn't have a major hospital within its city limits. You'll likely be driving into Alpharetta, Roswell, Johns Creek for your healthcare needs. Urgent care and family practices are certainly going to be available in Milton, so everyday needs are going to be covered, but for anything more serious, you're going to be making a trip. Now, this isn't typically a deal breaker if you live in Milton, but it does mean a little extra time if you need frequent specialist visits or emergency care. For sheer convenience and the range of services nearby, Alpharetta is going to take this one. Schools are always a major factor for families moving into this area, and both Alpharetta and Milton fall under the Fulton County school system, one of the most highly regarded school districts in Metro Atlanta. On niche.com, Fulton County is going to earn an A ranking among the top districts in the entire state and the metro area. Now, quick disclaimer, I'm going to talk about schools from the perspective of third-party sites and data. So we're going to be looking at the letter grade from niche.com, the rating out of 10 from gradeschools.org, and the rating out of 100 from US News. Let's start with Alpharetta's high schools first. Alpharetta High School is going to get an A+ on niche.com, a 9 out of 10 on gradeschools.org, and a 96 on US News. Great scores. On the south side, you're gonna have Chattahoochee High School. Gets an A+ on niche.com, a 10 out of 10 on gradeschools.org, and a 98 on US News, which is gonna put it right above Alpharetta. Centennial High School is gonna get an A on niche.com, a 7 out of 10 on gradeschools.org, and an 88 on US News. That puts it below Alpharetta at the current number 3. Then there's Cambridge High School. This one's interesting because it's gonna serve and be split amongst both cities, Alpharetta and Milton. It's gonna get an A+ on niche.com, a 9 out of 10 on gradeschools.org, and a 96 on US News. That's strong enough to take the number 2 spot overall. And finally, you're gonna have Milton High School, which is Milton's flagship school. Comes in with an A+ on niche.com, a 10 out of 10 on gradeschools.org, and a 96 on US News. That puts it between Chattahoochee and Cambridge, claiming the number 2 spot. Looking at the rankings, we're really splitting hairs here. I don't think there's a clear winner between these two cities, so we're gonna give this category a tie, half point each. Safety is always one of these topics that comes up when people are choosing where they're gonna live, but it's not as simple as looking at, a number per se. No place is completely free of crime, and statistics don't tell you everything. So as always, I recommend do your own research, visit neighborhoods, talk to the people who actually live there, and don't sue me if you get robbed. For this comparison, I'm pulling from neighborhoodscout.com, which aggregates FBI crime data and compares cities nationwide. According to neighborhoodscout.com, the chance of becoming a victim of either violent or property crime in Alpharetta is 1 in 60. Now, they also note that based on FBI crime data, Alpharetta is not one of the safest communities in America. Most incidents tend to be property crime, like theft. If you look at the heat map, there's a lot less crime in the residential areas as opposed to, the central commercial ones. As for Milton, Neighborhood Scout says the chance of becoming a victim of either violent or property crime in Milton is 1 in 153, which is a lot lower than Alpharetta. They add that Milton's crime rate is among the lowest in the nation for communities of all sizes, and it is for that reason that Milton is ranked as one of the top 100 safest cities in the USA. Pretty easy to call here, point for Milton. Again, even though these cities are right next to each other, their things to do list feels pretty different. Alpharetta has built itself into one of the most activity-rich suburbs in Metro Atlanta. You've got downtown Alpharetta with its restaurants, boutique shops, year-round events like Alpharetta Arts, Street Fest, and farmers markets. Avalon will add another layer with upscale shopping, the movie theater, the ice skating rink in the winter, and a steady calendar of concerts and pop-up events. And just outside the city center, there's Ameris Bank Theater, which is gonna bring in big name concerts all year round. For the outdoorsy crowd, Alpharetta has Big Creek Greenway, which is a multi-use trail that's great for walking, running, biking, all the things. There are plenty of parks like Wills Park, Webbridge Park, plenty of green spaces that you're gonna find. Milton, on the other hand, takes a very different approach. The pace here is slower, and that's kind of the point. They worked hard for that. It's a haven for outdoor recreation, lots of horseback riding, cycling on quiet roads, hiking in scenic preserves. There's Providence Park, there's Birmingham Park, and then Milton's equestrian culture is a big deal with multiple boarding stables, riding lessons, even horse shows throughout, the year in certain places. For events, again, we go back to Milton's Crabapple Market. It's it's got smaller community gatherings, it's got outdoor concerts, seasonal festivals. It's not the packed weekend scene of Alpharetta, but it's gonna fit perfectly with Milton's more relaxed, upscale, country feel that it's going for. So if you're looking for, nonstop lineup of events, concerts, activities, all the things that you want, Alpharetta is totally gonna win this category. If you want wide open spaces, quieter, more nature-oriented lifestyle, then Milton's gonna be more of your vibe. For most people, it's gonna be Alpharetta, point over here. And the winner is Alpharetta, taking this 5.5 to 2.5. But as always, don't just go by the score. These are two incredible places to live, and the better one really comes down to, what you're looking for and what you value most. If you're thinking about making a move to either one of these cities, please feel free to reach out. Or if you want to keep exploring all of these other suburbs around Atlanta, you can check out this playlist right over here. I'll see you in the next one.